The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to Therapy Tuesday on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are on Facebook right now, absolutely live, and our guest in the studio today is Dr. Geraldine Tan.
Did you just what was that? Chut chut sound.
Chut
Chut chut chup chup.
Chup sound.
That's terrible. Very
Remember, I'm
rude.
the chup chup,
Very
joint
rude.
champion with Simon Boy.
You are the Abeng. Yes, that's right. You are resident Abeng. Good morning, Dr. Geraldine
Good
Tan.
morning. I cannot. I must disconnect.
Disconnect.
Why?
You can just have a conversation
I
with me.
think so.
You mean nobody ever did that to you?
It's
Julian's not done that to you
no.
before? I think I have to.
Excuse
I have to
me?
tell him, hey, once in a while,
No.
surprise your wife.
No.
It's like, just go.
Yeah, he'll be sleeping on the sofa.
Okay, so today we're talking about.
What a bright, greeting. And then after that, I look at our topic and I go like, ayo.
Talking about loss.
Whose fault is this? Who's the one wanting to talk about death? Or
I guess we are talking about remembering our loved ones. I mean, I didn't want to just angle it towards grief, but I wanted us to remember life. So that's nice,
That it doesn't always have to be sad.
It doesn't
and
always
painful.
have
now you're
to
sounding
be
a little bit like
sad.
Prince, Remember?
Prince.
Yes, the lyrics to that Prince song.
Oh,
Let's
right.
go crazy.
Okay.
We're here to celebrate life,
Oh, okay. But
the
life,
afterlife. Okay.
Yes.
Carry on, Dr.
Yes.
Geraldine.
So we all have experienced different losses, whether it's a loss of a pet, whether it's a loss of a parent, a friend, or someone in our environment.
It
or
really sucks, right? It sucks.
Yeah, it does. It also depends on how death came about, how
Sudden
we got to know about it also. Yeah, so, the recent worldwide knowledge of the Pope passing. Where were you? What were you doing? And, so different people were telling me, I was on a plane, I touched down, or I was at a massage. And after I came out from a massage, I got to know the news.
I was about to take a nap in the afternoon when I
Wow.
heard the news.
I found out 5 hours or 6 hours later
Of
because
course.
I was playing golf.
Yeah.
So we will never forget how we come to know about that piece of news, and the closer the person is to us, the more impactful it is. Yeah, so those are the moments that we carry with us, and we also want to remember those moments, and it's okay.
But
You know what the
nothing-
sucky part is? Sucky part is finding out. Let's say, it's a loved one, a family member or whatever, and you get a call and it's like, your mom tells you so and so has passed away or
Yeah.
whatever. We always get the news from our parents.
Yeah.
And it's just, an awful feeling. It's
Yeah.
just a little bit of a shock.
Yeah,
well,
that's does the pain get any less if you're prepared for the death or if it comes, as a shocking piece of news?
It's torn. I mean, it's very divided. So some people, although they have cared for their loved ones for many, many, many years, and finally the person passes, it doesn't mean that they feel the grief less. Or they can be prepared. And you often hear that. But sometimes they feel reconciled that this person is away or it doesn't feel pain anymore. It's liberated from the pain. So they can feel relief.
I mean, it's easy to say that, okay, we're going to celebrate that person's life once that person goes. Or if I go, I'm going to say, I want you guys to all have champagne and, show pictures of my happiest moments and stuff like that. But you can't, sometimes you just can't do it when it happens.
Yeah. So when I talk about celebrate life, a lot of people think celebrate the person's life, which is true. Okay, we celebrate the dearly departed, their life, but also celebrating our life, because oftentimes when we get the news, we hear the news, we feel like the story that we have with the person has suddenly,
Ended.
ended, halted. The brakes are being put on there, and you cannot create any more memories, and you feel you cannot. So for some people, especially if they're really, really close to the person, they feel like they cannot celebrate their life. They cannot smile again, you know. And well, perhaps I'm also a little bit emotional because last night we had a new mother that came up. So Healing Hearts runs every month. This month we had to postpone it, so it ran yesterday, last night. These are mothers who have lost children to suicide. So these group of parents or mothers would find it very difficult to celebrate life because they have a lot of emotions. So all of us have different emotions, you know, even if it is, you know, a parent or a friend. We have guilt, we have self-blame, we have so even the students that I see and they have lost someone in school, perhaps they blame themselves and say, you know, Auntie Jerry, I could have spoken to this friend a little bit more. Maybe, and I say, do you know this person? No. I'm like, oh, you don't know this person. Why would you go up? But they are filled with so much regret. Yeah, that you know, they cannot find the energy in them to celebrate life.
Because once the heart and the mind are affected, you know, it's tough. It's very tough. Let's continue to talk to Jerry on The Big Show TV. Up next, Gracie Abrams. This is Close to You on Kiss 92.
I mean, I see like my mom, because my dad's bedridden, right? She can't have fun because she feels guilty.
Yeah.
Will that change upon death? You know what I mean? Does that, because he's here now, and I mean, obviously, we're all living a living death, right? I mean, we will all pass at some point.
Pass, yeah.
Right. Will that change for her, or will she grieve more and not, go back to her previous life?
A very good question. It really takes that community to encourage her, to bring her out, to show her that beyond the caring, because she is caring for your father all these years, right? And then to have a change in lifestyle, change in routine, change in mindset, perhaps will take some time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come instantaneous, and I just imagine the optics, right? You know, your husband passes and then you're there going partying.
You're out at the clubs, like having champagne.
I don't think anybody would do that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes time.
Yeah. I mean, like also, like, I have this aunt, well, she's not an aunt, but a good friend, and she's all ready to pass. You know, she's been given like 7 months to a year, no next of kin or anything, but she wants everybody to celebrate her life. You know, like,
That's brave, huh? Like, I mean, a different mindset altogether.
Yeah,
Because,
completely different.
Because no matter how old you are, you know, if let's say the diagnosis is, okay, you've got 7 months left or whatever, you know, any average human being
will whittle away.
Yeah, I mean, they will have that on their minds, like, because it's the unknown, right? I mean, what's going to happen when I go? You know, a lot of them, they think about that.
And overthink.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, for her, she's like, no, I'm throwing my 90th birthday party. Because I don't, because she's 89. She's 90 next
she's
year.
Scared. She's scared she will go before 90.
Before 90, so she's thrown herself a birthday party. And I thought, wow, okay, at the Sheraton, no less. I'm like, okay.
But isn't that amazing?
I'd love for everyone to be like that.
It's a different mindset.
Completely
altogether.
different.
Yeah. So it's very interesting because we talk about the one that is passing or is about to pass, and they are reconciled with it. Okay. They're not grappling, or they're not grabbing on to life.
Yeah.
But why I'm talking about it is because I see so many people who are still living on earth, struggling
with the people who have gone.
Yes, some don't ever recover, right?
It is very tough. Grieving is a process. Grieving is not easy because the emotions are stuck within ourselves, you know, and typically these emotions are more than just sadness. There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of resentment, there's
unresolved
a lot of
issues,
regret.
Yeah, but if they've got family and all that, I mean, shouldn't they just move on? Because that would be unfair to their family if they can't get over like one death, let's say, of a parent, for example, and then what the wife does is the wife neglects the husband and the children, and as a result of that,
But different people grieve differently, right? And you can't say people
Correct.
should move on, right? I mean,
Yes.
like, but how do we help them move on? Maybe.
So the environment actually is very important and very vital, but I agree with you, where the individual sometimes is stuck, right? But we cannot tell the individual, hey, move on.
yeah.
That's they can't.
It depends.
That's
I think
rude.
some individuals are strong, some are a bit more emotionally attached, and therefore find it hard to let go.
And some don't show it on the surface.
They don't show it.
But
Sometimes
they're
it's
dying
buried.
inside.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes it's really buried deep
Yeah.
inside, and they don't know how to grieve.
Dying inside to hold you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but they are they don't know what to do with their emotions, and it's all inside. So sometimes the people around them cannot help them.
sometimes they don't see,
Sometimes they don't see.
right?
So later on, we're going to do a little exercise for all of us, but it's a little bit more visual. So
Jumping
there's-
jacks.
Jumping
So we'll do
jacks.
it on Big Show TV later.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
We're still on Big Show TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Too
short.
Too short.
to
Maybe
do
later.
anything.
I just want to go back to what you were saying just now about that auntie of yours.
Yeah,
who,
Auntie Mary.
Yeah, who has like 7 months left and all that. It's very rare that you can actually communicate with someone so freely
Yeah.
about death.
Yeah.
So, have you sat down to talk to her?
I sat down with her.
Ask her for 40,
I'll sit down with her
Because-
again.
right?
So this
And then
is
ask her something
exercise.
else.
That's
I've always-
terrible. I'm going there with it without any like ulterior motives, okay?
No, but then this is one way to prove, like, okay, what happens in the afterlife? Are you going to still be lingering
Should
around?
I tell her
the
to come
house?
back to me in
No,
my dreams?
Tell her to show you a sign, right? Like move the clock or something. Like,
You know what? I
At a
dare.
certain
I dare
time.
do that. I dare do
Yeah.
that. But with her, it's amazing because I hadn't seen her for maybe 2 decades.
Okay.
And then my mom told us about her. She's she's my mom's friend for like 60 years. And so I said, okay, I'm going to come with you. I found out that they were going, and I said, I'm going to come with you and my sister. And we sat down for a couple of hours with her, and she was just like, she looked completely normal. Of course, 89, not very mobile. But she was like, yeah, I'm ready for death. I'm throwing myself a party. I've got lung cancer in my left lung. It may spread to my right. Don't feel any pain now. So she was I'm
Matter of
donating my
fact.
body to science.
Wow.
And then she had to call them. She says, I have lung cancer. Will that affect my donation of my body? They're like, no, please send it.
right.
So she's like doing that so that nobody is, is burdened with my
Right.
burial and my cremation and what have you and all that. So I already assigned all her jewelry and all her kabayas and all that to all. To
She's
all the
lived a
family.
long,
She lives
wonderful
a long-
life, man.
And she's lived
90.
everywhere as well. She never married. She went all over the world, followed wherever life took her, and yeah, she's very, very satisfied with her life and happy to go.
Right now. 4, as in like 4 sets of 40 numbers.
I'll write down her unit number, her block
Or 5.
number, her everything.
No, not too many. If not, she can't remember.
Okay.
It's like just give her like.
Oh, go there again. Okay, I'll go there again.
Maybe
yeah.
like just give her like 4 numbers lah.
Okay.
And then just ask her to
I didn't mean
what do you
to
call
celebrate
memorize.
life this week.
Okay. Going
Then
back on it.
if anything happens, do I have to share with you? Or?
Yes,
Oh,
of
okay.
course. I'm giving you the idea.
Okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the AYE towards Tuas, a vehicle has broken down at Jurong Pier Road's exit. Nothing else. It's just your usual peak hour traffic. Let us know if you spot anything. 885550
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today, and she's in the studio, and we always love you when you come into the studio.
Because my mic sounds good.
This is true.
Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Cheyenne, can you pass me a tissue from there? Is that okay? Thank you. My lips taste of lo mai gai. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about
Death.
Remembering
our
our
loved-
loved ones. Yes, yes.
Remembering the ones we have lost, yeah.
Yes. So so aunt is still around. Do you have someone that you have that has passed already?
That I am grieving.
That you no need to grieve. I mean,
Sure, I've lost
just
people in my
lost
life,
people
but
that is a little bit closer to you.
not really. Just my grandparents and anything. Knock on wood.
Ask
I
me,
do
ask
have
me that.
aging
I know.
parents, so yeah, I know his answer. You can ask Glenn.
So dad.
My
right?
papa.
Yes, dad. 2 years ago, right?
What?
Maybe
wait,
3 now?
What is it now?
3?
2025. 3 years ago.
Wow, time
Very
flies.
fast.
Yeah.
Time flies. Okay, so we start with Glenn first.
Okay.
You know what is one? Do you remember like your favorite meal with him?
Favorite meal.
So we're going to go with memories here.
Yeah, I mean, he taught me how to eat everything and anything. You know.
What was the most impactful one that you can remember?
I think. Let me see.
I've never seen Glenn so serious. Wow.
And so quiet as well.
Nasi Padang.
Nasi
He
Padang.
loves his Nasi
Sotong.
Padang. Rendezvous Hotel. No, Rendezvous Nasi Padang was his favorite.
Wow. And does he have a favorite?
And
like,
Shanghai restaurant in East Coast.
Okay.
Is Shanghai still there?
I'm not sure.
I think you're the Easterner now.
You're part of the East Coast
East
GRC,
Coast
right?
GRC.
Shanghai.
I'm going there.
Very
Okay.
good Nasi
We-
Padang.
We shall go there another time.
And it's called Shanghai.
Shanghai restaurant, yeah.
Do you remember, does dad have a particular scent that he wears?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
Can you remember what it is?
when he was
a deep
wearing it,
inhale.
aftershave. His aftershave was Mandem.
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 Wow.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going with the 5 senses, as you can already hear. How does your dad kind of approach you? Like, does he tap your shoulders? Does he give you a hug? Like when I come in,
He used to kiss
Glenn,
me a
and-
lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and he'll make me kiss him on his
On
cheek.
the cheek?
as
On the
well.
cheek.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So he was Chinese, but because as I was telling Angel the other day, my Eurasian side, right? Whenever my granduncles come over, and we always kiss each other, on the cheek
Right,
and
right.
all that. But for a Chinaman like my father, to also
To
be
kiss, yeah.
be into that was amazing.
And show emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does your father often say? Is there a favorite phrase of his?
There are many fish in the sea.
Well, he's living that life now.
And I'm very much like my dad. Fortunately or unfortunately.
Oh my gosh! I don't mean to cut this conversation off, but Mol is asking what your views are on euthanasia
Wow.
How did we suddenly come to euthanasia?
because it's also death, and it's an assisted death, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an assisted death. Okay.
Because obviously it's not allowed here in Singapore.
It's not allowed here in Singapore. Doesn't mean that it is bad, because
No.
for some of the medical conditions where they are unable to have any cure for it, they're completely in pain. There are times maybe some doctors will accede to it where they just want to die with dignity because they know that there is no way and nothing else that they can do.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary, because the doctors know it already. Like for example,
What do you mean?
most of the time, yes. Okay. Oh, for a moment I thought we were about to come up.
No.
Okay, let's
going-
continue. Let's continue this conversation on the Big Show TV. Metro Station is next. It's Shake It on Kiss 92.
Yeah.
I thought we were on
Big Show
the Big
TV.
Show TV.
You were saying
Too focused
You don't think
already.
it's necessary?
Yeah. I don't think it's necessary, for us to have like
Euthanasia.
euthanasia, because I think the doctors, right, based on a few experiences that I've had. So let me see, how many people have I been by their bedside as they passed slowly?
Oh wow.
But maybe 2 or 3.
I don't think I've
including
been
my
next
grandmother.
to anyone.
Yeah, and you're
I
just
haven't.
standing there, you're waiting for them to go.
Wow.
but they're not
on their
quite,
own.
Yes, on their own.
Yeah, on their own.
And that's because the doctors would just stop administrating,
So they pull the plug.
the medicine. No, I wouldn't say pull the plug, but it's like, okay, look, it's useless.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll just slowly wean him or her off the medication.
Yeah, and sometimes they're on life support, right?
Yeah.
And then they just...
And they're on that, it's like morphine. It's not morphine, it's something else. Fentanyl.
Is it fentanyl?
You know, yeah.
It's a painkiller.
You know,
yeah.
so you know, when the doctors feel like, okay, look, it's time, then they'll just kind of, not administer that anymore,
But correct me if I'm wrong,
that is-
euthanasia is like actually administering
Yeah.
the,
Administering
exactly.
the death, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm completely with our government for not legalizing euthanasia. I think more and more countries are legalizing
They
euthanasia.
are.
That's the
was,
thing.
I think Sweden.
It's assisted suicide.
I heard a case of a couple that decided to commit suicide
yeah.
together
Yeah.
before they got ill.
Right.
So they have already had the
Right.
kids, they had grown up kids and all that. And then
Yeah.
they decided before they become a burden to their children and while they're at the peak of their health and they've seen their grandchildren, they want to go so that they have their dignity of not being on life support or anything else or
Right,
whatever,
right.
minimizing that risk. And they both chose to pass away together.
But
I
you see,
guess
that is
that's
suicide.
crazy.
That's committing suicide.
It is,
So,
it is,
so
together.
in Singapore, it is still a little bit uncomfortable for people to reconcile with that.
Yeah.
And we have different set of values also.
Yeah, and
so-
who
Yeah.
approves?
And laws as
who has to
well.
approve? The family has to approve.
For what, euthanasia?
Yeah, I mean, let's say if it comes to that, right? And then after the fact, right? How many of them can actually live with it?
Yeah, saying that, should we have done that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's hard.
But obviously, the person who's the plug is going to be pulled on as well is the one that's actually probably already signed off before. You know what I mean? I think I don't know how it works with euthanasia.
Yeah, so they have to register for it.
For
Yeah.
the patient itself,
the
right?
patient
Yeah.
themselves.
Nobody
yeah.
else has the right.
Nobody. Yeah.
It's a little
Nobody.
messed up. It's
Yeah.
a little bit.
But we are not talking about euthanasia.
No, we're not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who is the one who
We're
brought
talking
up
Mo,
about
Mo.
Mo, see what you've done.
remembering our loved ones, and we're going to do a little exercise. And I have air clay here, so for those that have not
Air clay?
seen air clay, they're super, super, super light.
Air
Is it like
clay.
Play-Doh?
Air clay, a bit like Play-Doh, but once they dry out, they dry in their shape. Yeah,
You give children this, they'll eat it. No?
they don't.
It looks like right.
We have
candy
Kimmy,
floss.
Kimmy that's sharing. I lost my good friend on a plane crash in 2020. Today, while listening to your show, my tears welled up. I miss her so much. In the last almost 25 years, I've gone through marriage, childbirth, divorce, started a business. I wish she was around to share our journey. For me, sudden death like an accident, and such a rare accident made it harder for me to come to a closure.
But the thing
What do
is,
I need
my
to do?
dear, choose a color.
Oh, one.
Wait,
So-
no, Jerry is giving.
Yeah,
some-
sorry. Kimmy.
Kimmy, yes, Kimmy, she is with you all these years. The very fact that you're talking about her, she has accompanied you through all the different life changes. So she's there in your heart, but if you need to cry, cry.
Oh, that's nice. There
I'm
you
sure
go.
she's cried many times already. I'm sure.
$25 for that advice. It's
Angel.
free advice. I'm just trying to make light. Why are you allowed to make light of things and I'm not?
Because this is a moment.
Yeah,
Kimmy
that's-
is sharing with her.
That's okay. I feel for Kimmy.
Cheyenne
Okay,
and
pick a
Shalini
colour.
also can.
You chose
have-
black?
Yes.
Pick a color. Think of the person that has passed that you miss.
Oh, is that
and
what it
pick
is?
a
Oh, I just
colour.
picked the color. My favorite color from the lot.
Okay.
Oh, that's the Kiss 92 color.
Yeah, that's why I chose it. No, but I just picked a random color.
Okay, so I want you to think of the person and then,
Ew.
yeah, not everybody likes this.
It's a little.
texture.
It's not dry. It's a bit.
It's a little bit wet
Moist.
for you to.
Oh, is it really?
Why are you smelling it? Okay, for those out there watching us on YouTube and Facebook Live, we are playing with air clay.
Oh, you're
I'm
taking it out.
supposed to do art therapy with all of them, but they are going ew.
Only Glenn is
It's just the
going,
smell. It's like chow sung smell.
You're not supposed to smell it. Do you want me to drop some?
This must be so toxic for children. Is it
It's
toxic?
supposed to be non-toxic.
It's supposed to be non-toxic. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
weird feeling. Oh, I've never played with this before.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Now the adults are becoming children.
Thanks to you.
So what are we doing with this?
Okay, so you have a person that you miss, okay, and then you're going to make an item that reminds you of them.
Make an item that reminds you.
Yeah.
A Mercedes Benz, Glenn.
Oh yeah, my father loved. He had a Mercedes
Or
Benz
many
as well.
fish in the water.
He had a
Yeah,
Mini
make a
Cooper.
fish.
I don't
Many
know.
fish in the
Why are
water.
we deciding for him? Let's
No,
not
no,
decide
no,
for
we're
him.
not. We're not.
I'm thinking.
Yes, so it's a little exercise. So this is something that we do for the children, for various things. Yeah, but today we're going to use it for loss and doing something that symbolizes or reminds us of the person that
Okay.
has passed.
Okay.
Cheyenne and Shalini also have to do. Oh, Cheyenne's there. Why is Cheyenne there?
We've exiled her to the other production room.
Oh no. Okay. Who have you chosen?
I will choose my grandmother, I guess. I mean, she was not the last. That was a while ago. I'm just trying to think if I've lost anyone along the way. I don't think I have, which is a good thing, I guess. My grandmother must have been about 25 years ago.
Wow.
Duke Leong has come on and said it's been about 4.5 years since my son suddenly passed due to a brain tumor.
Wow.
Oh.
I had never fully recovered and my heart still hurts when I think of him, of course. So sorry to hear that. Andy Fong says, regrets and missed opportunities will never be erased. I lost my dad suddenly more than a decade ago. He was discovered by the police overseas when neighbors complained of a smell from decomposition.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
They called the call from the police. The body identification at the morgue was all traumatic and so painful. The thing is, we are never the same when we experience the loss. However, there are always the positives and negatives. His love lives on in my heart. His final lesson for me is the meaning of fatherhood and how wonderful the love is. The love continues and changed how I saw life. How I became a father of 2 boys. My love extends to them till the day I meet my father, and it will continue with my boy to their loved ones. This is what makes life worth living.
I love
Thank
those
you for
messages.
sharing.
And,
Yeah, so
keep
lovely.
those messages
Oh,
coming.
I know what that is. That's abacus. I love. I love. Yes.
You can recognize it.
Yes, my favorite dish.
So
My favorite Hakka dish.
Cute.
So my the person that I'm thinking of is grandma. Grandma passed in 2013.
Okay.
The first year I started the therapy room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she used to make abacus.
She used to make abacus
with
by
mushroom
hand
and
with-
mincemeat.
and black fungus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's
Did you
so
make
hard to
with
get
her?
abacus.
No,
No,
I
you never.
didn't. Yeah.
But you know how to make, right?
I don't actually.
Oh, it's hard,
So
right?
every time I will ask grandma to make and she will make it.
Oh, wow. Okay,
pampered.
next time if I order abacus, I will send some to you.
Okay, I love it.
I have it with a nice glass of Shiraz.
Oh
He'll
my
send that as
gosh.
well to you.
You just give me a big tub of chili.
What kind of chili?
I don't know any kind of chili.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm ready.
Okay. See.
We are ready. Why?
Nothing. I'm just making my own. No, nothing.
Abacus.
No.
Yours looks like
It's a
abacus
heart.
as well.
I'm
It's
trying to make a heart.
So we must link this to the person.
Yes, yes. So you share who it is and what it is and what makes it comforting. And if you have a story to tell. So usually with art therapy, we have a series of different questions that we would ask. So there's the non-verbal part and there's the verbal part also. So today we're doing a little bit of therapy for ourselves.
Okay.
And for the listeners and the audience out there.
So if people don't have this plasticine stuff, what can they do?
Actually,
They-
it's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
It's not
It's
as
therapeutic.
heavy as plasticine.
And Play-Doh
You
and
can
stuff.
actually mold it very,
Yeah.
very nicely.
Yeah, so
What's it
I-
made of, though?
I really
Questionable.
don't know.
Look,
I
we've
have
got
no
a winner
idea.
here, man. Give
Clearly,
me the.
they've made billions of dollars already. What is
Oh,
it?
man.
What is it called?
Eclay.
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 So they sell this.
They sell this. Go Daiso. There is the blocks
Daiso.
of
I mean, I like the
Eclay.
fact that it's air clay. You see, so
So it's airy.
It's very, very light.
Are those boobs?
Yes.
That's
What's
why
that?
I
Why
laugh.
you laughing?
That's why I laugh.
No.
Show it.
Because you did very well. Clearly, you know them very well.
No, one nipple is bigger than the other now. Which is actually natural.
Yeah.
Most times people's nipples
Are
are
you
all
sh-
different
Oh
sizes.
my gosh, are we allowed to talk
Again,
about
because
We are
you're
on
still on the Big Show
yes.
TV.
Later go on eh? No more. Okay.
Oh
I had to make the nipples more prominent. If not, no one can see.
no! Oh my gosh!
Because my father loved women, so, so this is. I'm sure he loved boobs, and so do I.
Oh dear, I don't know where.
I don't know whether my father's laughing right now or
He's
he's
laughing.
crying. Okay, stand by.
He's like, that's not what I meant.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the MCE towards the AYE after the Marina Coastal Drive entrance, avoid lane 1. An accident has been spotted. Also on the AYE towards Tuas, a vehicle's broken down at Jurong Pier Road's exit with congestion until Jurong Port Road's exit. Wherever you are, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is the beautiful. Actually, beautiful sounds old. The sexy. Gorgeous. Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Good morning, Jerry.
This is Angel.
Oh, no, you gorgeous.
Angel. Yes, okay.
Hey!
Oh.
Ayo!
He's like, cannot inflate my head too much. He has to see me tomorrow as well.
Angel, what is your air clay? Are we on
I'm
we
trying to
guess?
build a 3D heart,
Yes.
but it's not coming out
A
very
3D
well.
heart.
Yeah.
That looks like Jerry's abacus, but in the form of a ring.
I'm trying to build that, but okay, it's a fail there. But anyway, it's for my grandmother.
Okay,
My grandmother
okay.
never had the most fantastic relationship with my mom, but she was always nice to me. You know, I'd like to say I had an okay relationship with her. And whenever I smell sandalwood, it reminds me of her because her cupboards, all her wooden cupboards had sandalwood in them. And that's the one smell that triggers her memories for me.
Nice.
When it comes to food, she made the really great black sauce chicken, you know, that we ate with rice. And she always, her house was always filled with dogs, and so there was always a lot of laughter, and Christmas was always at her house, so it's a lot of memories.
Wow.
So yeah, a heart is
okay.
the only thing I can think of, because I can't make a dog out of this.
How does she make you feel?
She was always very authoritative, you know.
So were you scared of her?
Yeah, a
Like,
little bit.
so if you think of her, you think of fear?
No, not really.
Okay,
No,
what would
no.
you think of? Or what would you feel?
I would feel that she had been through a lot, and I regret not finding out her stories. You know, her story, because my mom only knows what my mom knows, you know, and there's some stories that she doesn't have. So that's my only regret. Yeah, not finding out.
So I mean, us kids don't know the full story.
Yes, always, right? There's
Our
always something held back,
grandparents, our
right?
aunties, our uncles.
Yeah,
you
so if
know.
you still have family around, I suggest really getting together and finding out about your family history.
But the thing is, you have your story with her. So
Yes.
that's the story that you keep.
No, I know, but I want to know her story and what made her her, and how she got to where she was, and why her relationship with my mom was like that. Because there's always a reason.
Always a story.
Yeah, there's always a story behind that.
Yeah, there's always a story. And the younger generation, they're so easy for them to judge, you know,
Yeah.
without knowing like what really happened back then. Because they
Yeah.
weren't there to live through it, you know. But yeah.
And what makes
many a
someone's
time-
behavior the way, you know,
Yeah.
because people always behave a certain way because of something that's happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
true,
Exactly.
true.
Yeah.
Does Shalini have a story?
Shalini says,
has
let's
a
just
card
wrap. Let's
for
just get.
me.
She just flashes the red card and come on, let's just move on. Les Seraphim is next. This is Perfect Night on Kiss 92.
Now she has her story.
Yay! Come.
Okay. My
Do
story.
you do any?
Yes, I did. Mine is a little radio.
Oh, can I show?
Yeah.
Show them?
Oh, what?
A radio.
Oh my gosh. Have you seen my heart? It was terrible.
Yes, I know.
So cute. Why is this part hard though?
So nice.
Cute. Very nice.
Radio.
And it's I want to say old school radio. So
Yes,
it's
it is.
like,
It's got an antenna.
Yeah. Okay, so my story is a little close to me because the death anniversary of this person is actually this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So it's my uncle. He's probably my favorite uncle. He passed on 18 years ago. And he was actually blind. And all the memories I have of him is actually radio. And he's also one of the reasons why I got into radio. So growing up, his only entertainment because he's blind is radio. And he was such an avid listener of like every radio show. And one of the memories that I remember, because I was only 10 when he passed away, was that
Shalini's gonna make me cry.
yeah, I think everyone that heard this story has actually teared up. But okay, so growing up, there was a lot of dedications that you can do on radio. And whenever it was our mid-year exams, any class tests or anything, he'll call up the radio station to wish us. So, they will record your phone calls. Then he'll quickly call my house phone to tell my mom to get us to stand at the kitchen where the radio is
To listen.
to listen to everything. Yeah, so when I was 10, I didn't understand why I cried every single day at the wake. But as I grew up, I realized why, because I felt so close to him. And naturally, when I grew my love for joining radio, it just felt like all the pieces matched. So like, even though like there are days that are very tough at work for me, if it happens, I'll always just like remember that I have to stay on because I feel like he'll be proud of me.
That's so sweet.
What was his name?
Oh my god, wait. Daniel.
Daniel.
Because we don't call him by his
Uncle
name.
Daniel.
How,
Yeah,
how
Uncle
many
Daniel.
years difference were you guys? Was he quite young or was he quite old?
I want to think because he's older than my mom. So
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah, if
so
he
like a
was
parental
still
age.
if he was still alive, he would be like in his mid 60s now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Uncle Daniel, the next song coming up is For You.
Nice. And he's looking down now and smiling and so proud of you.
I can
What
also
a
sing him a
lovely
song if you want, right?
sharing.
Daniel.
Oh yeah, he would love that because he loved music a lot. Like
Yeah.
in church, he will always play the bongos.
Oh,
yeah,
cute.
yeah. So he
Okay.
loved his music. He loved radio a lot.
I think we would have gotten along, no?
Yeah.
Uncle Daniel and
This is
myself.
your mom's brother.
You see?
Yeah.
He plays the bongos. I like the bongos.
Yes, we know.
It's like I almost.
Did you
we
create the
almost had-
bongos there?
We almost had breakfast bongos, remember?
Yes.
Maybe I should bring back breakfast bongo
Just for
and
Uncle
dedicate
Daniel.
it to Uncle Daniel.
But
Thank
what a
you for that story,
beautiful
Shalini.
sharing. I love sharings like that, and I guess that's in therapy, that's part of it. Where you get to process your story, you get to tell your story all over again. In the support group, that's what we do. Also, we speak freely about them, because they are very close to us. They are not gone. They are gone on earth, but they're not gone from our lives. They're not gone from our hearts.
What about the people though that are surrounded by someone who's grieving, because they don't feel the same way? You know what I mean? Like say, Shalini just lost her Uncle Daniel. How do we deal with her grieving?
Allowing them to grieve, allowing Kimi to talk, allowing Kimi to cry, allowing Shalini to share, and just holding that space for them, giving permission. And the last thing you want to tell them is like, hey, it's been like how many years? How many years you say? 18 years?
18 years.
Yeah.
18 years already. Why are you still talking about this person? Ooh, but there are some people that,
Yeah.
That
actually
will.
say that because they don't know how to deal with
No, I think
the
talking
discomfort.
about it is perfectly fine. But there's
Yeah.
some people who like remain closed
And will go on about it all
yeah,
the time.
can you imagine?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like someone who
and just cannot function anymore.
And I'm not saying they can't do it, or I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, or whatever. But there are some people that will just grieve about it every day
Yeah.
and
Sure.
talk about it every day
Sure.
with, say, the same people and all that. How do those people
Yeah,
handle it?
can
you
understand.
know?
So the way I see it is like, look, you are alive. The person is dead already. You don't have to live like you are dead as well.
Yeah.
If you love life, you'll go on, right? But the person is past. The person is past. No matter how much you love that person, I know
It's
I'm talking
not
about
bringing
kids
them
or-
back.
I'm talking about like parents, for example, right? So you decide like you want to die inside as well because your parents have gone, or
Yeah.
it's like. somehow it doesn't make sense.
But that's insensitive to say, right?
But yeah, so it is also the time period. It is also, if it's very close to the passing, let them be for a little bit. But
No, I'm
you
talking about like
mentioned
18 years later.
if they're dysfunctional,
Yeah.
if they are still crying, then we talked about disorders and dysfunction, right? So if there's a dysfunction and they're still very
It's like a breast
No,
mold.
these are not boobs anymore.
It's a
now it's a
mold.
brassiere.
It's a brassiere. No, I was gonna say it's a mold. It looks like a mold where you put like boobs
I know, I was,
in.
I was
Brassiere.
gonna be like serious here, I was like, oh no, oh dear. But yes, if it is a dysfunction, then yes, please encourage them to go and seek professional help because there is something really clinically wrong with them. Yeah, because grieving is okay, but when you talk about dysfunction and 18 years later or 15 years later, they still cannot function.
Yeah. Don't listen selectively. We were mentioning now about an extreme, like these extreme cases
yes.
where people can't let go
Yes,
of the death
yes.
of their loved one after like 18 years, and as a result,
Cannot live life.
They would neglect their family, their
Yeah.
children, and all
Yeah.
that. Obviously, I mean, something is wrong. I'm not saying that people should not grieve. I
Yeah.
just want to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not like you're wrong. Something is wrong with you in that sense, but obviously, help is needed to sort out all that internal stuff that's going on, right?
Yeah, because it is painful.
Yeah.
And if we cannot, sort out the pain, it's going to stay with you and it's going to make you sick.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
talk about things like this, but who's to say that that won't happen to me?
Yes.
When a parent
Yes.
passes.
Of course,
You know?
of course.
Like, I don't know what's going to happen when my mom and my dad go. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that.
So 3 tips, right? The 3 tips. First, talk about the person. Keep talking. It's talk about the happy times, talk about the memories, talk about the joy you have with them. Use the little method that I used earlier, the 5 senses, and talk about them in a positive, joyful manner. Celebrate life because you had beautiful memories with them. And the
Yeah.
memories are yours to keep. No one else is going to take them away from you, right? And if it helps you, you can keep one of their items and keep that close to you. Just hold on to it, right? It is okay.
My situation, my dad, and all that. It's very complex, actually. Actually, I don't mind talking to someone, but I only want to talk to Dr. Geraldine Tan.
Otherwise, he'll remain as he is for the rest of his life.
It's
Correct.
okay. We can manage
him now. Yeah, it's okay.
It's
It's all right. We like you the way you are. It's okay. We'll just leave you alone.
And the last one is do things in their memory. So I like how Shalini shared, right? And I don't know, you must have always stared at my notes, that.
Are you accusing her of cheating?
No,
Oh, Shalini, Susan. She's using the camera to zoom in.
no, but do things in the memory. So Shalini, just fell into or pursued radio, right? And in memory of
Uncle Daniel.
Uncle Daniel. So that keeps his legacy going, his memory alive. Different people would do different things. Sometimes they volunteer, sometimes they have a soft toy. So something to keep that legacy alive.
Uncle Daniel listens to English songs as well.
He's listening to us right now.
60s, maybe Engelbert Humperdinck.
Maybe.
Tell me when will you be mine?
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the ECP towards the city right before the Still Road South exit, look out for an accident. Avoid lane 1 if you're heading down that stretch. Also in the MCE towards the AYE after Marina Coastal Drive entrance, also in lane 1, an accident. Let us know if you see anything else. 885550
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. This morning our guest is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room, and we've been talking about death. Maybe we should invite...
Remembering our loved ones.
Yeah. No, and also
Maybe we should invite who?
maybe we should invite an undertaker on the show just to find out a little bit more. I got a good friend who's an undertaker. She's an undertaker.
I thought he was going to say maybe we should invite someone onto the show. I was like, who?
Okay, yeah. I saw it 3 times already, Shalini Susan. She says, wrap up.
Undertaker. Okay, that would be interesting
Yes.
because they have to handle people who deal with death every day.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like counselors as well,
Yes,
right?
they have to hold that
So
space.
hard,
Yeah,
that kind
yeah,
of.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah.
That would be
I-
interesting. 100%.
Yes.
Bring her on. 100%. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Give her a call.
And Jerry, you can come in also, lah. Then maybe we can, work together, right?
Sure,
It's like the
sure.
psychology of
Death.
Of death. Okay.
We will plan.
Okay.
I'm just very intrigued by what.
Yes.
Angel
It was a
made.
bracelet, but now it's a ring.
No,
Okay,
I
Glenn.
swear they sell this at Krispy Kreme. It's a donut.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's a donut then. What did you make, Glenn?
I told everyone already. What? Now we are on
Yeah.
the radio.
Oh,
How
we
can-
cannot.
You can't do that.
I'm just doing it on purpose.
Watch us on Facebook later, okay?
Yeah.
All right, to see what I have made.
Created
Yeah, actually,
in memory of.
first time different from the second time. Okay, anyway, we've got
Yes.
to check on out of here. It's 8:50 already. Thank you very much, Shalini Susan, for reminding us
Constantly
of the
remind.
time, because this is quite late already. 8:50.
It is.
You're the only
Yes.
one. You're the queen now. Everyone else checks on out of here 8:40. You leave at 8:50.
Okay, like you're blaming her.
Yeah, why are you blaming?
Yeah, don't blame her.
But I'm gonna gift everyone with what was a conclusion last evening with the mothers.
Okay.
And they gave us each a word. So there's no quote, but a quote from them. It's having the peace of mind, the strength to carry on, and just to survive, surrounded by warmth, comfort, and love.
Oh my
So
God. At the
that's-
end of the show, you have to make
Oh
me
my
cry. I'm
goodness,
like,
the
oh my
angel is
goodness.
crying again.
Oh, because I'm thinking of the moms.
Yes.
The moms who have lost their kids.
And yesterday we had a new mom.
oh my God.
And everyone was just rallying around her.
Nah, tissue for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to clean
End
my...
of the show,
Yeah.
8:51.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shalini made me cry. I
Oh,
just
my
barely managed to hold it in.
All of you are crybabies. But that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Jerry.
I'm
And you've
glad
got
to be
another
here.
quote, or you're
No,
ending with
this
that
is-
quote?
I'm ending with that. I'm not going to make Angel
Yeah,
cry.
no more.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you will come into the studio again next week.
Good one. Thanks, Dr. Jerry.
Headline news and sports up next.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 90.